Hello. How is everyone? Just checking that. Oh yeah, we've appeared.
Are we there? Oh, we're there.
We're there. So it's 1:30 p.m. in New York City and 6:30 p.m. in UK. I'm just going to pop open the comments. So it's great to see so many people here. So we've got Jackie is the first one in, and then Robin. Hi, Robin. Giselle was here. Hi, Giselle. Dawn and Deanne. Hi, Deanne. We have Cedar in the City. Hello. And Elspeth and Tycon. We have Sarah. Those noises in the background.
It's Vaughn. He's grunting.
Lily Rose. Taro with Jay. Simon back in the States after 25 years almost. Saskia, hello, Saskia. And I don't want to miss anybody out. So, Sarah, did I say hello to you? Sandra's here. Hello. Hi, Simon, Jen, and Elle. Roots and Waves, Ange, hello. Sarah from SL Wyman's. Amanda, hello. Jorg, nice to see you. Susan and Debbie. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, we thought we would go live. This is our first time home. See what I did there?
He's already moved here. He's never leaving.
This is our first time at the apartment, I think, in the middle of the day, isn't it? Because we've been out from dusk till dawn.
Pretty much.
No, not dusk till dawn. Dawn till dusk.
Yeah, we're not that good, even though that is how New York operates.
Yeah, but it's been full on, but it's been fantastic. There's been so much, and I've still got just over 48 hours left, and we've got things planned for tonight and tomorrow. So I thought what we would do is just talk about some of the things that we've done, a little bit about the differences that we've kind of realised between UK and US that I had forgotten about, because as I said, it's a long time since. Hi Patrice, nice to see you as well. Yeah, it's a long time since I've been here. What I will say is I am really hot. I've got no t-shirts because everybody back home said you're going in December. And at the front of the plane, even Stella. We caught the Staten Island ferry over to Staten Island, to pass the Statue of Liberty and come back, and that was bitterly cold. You guys both went indoors, didn't you? And
yeah, we were like, okay, we've seen the view, we're going to go back where it's warm. Plus we live here and it's free. So.
Yeah, but that moment coming back was like a memorable moment, seeing the New York, the Manhattan skyline all lit up as we came in on the return journey. But other than that, it's near 60. We've got window open. We went out yesterday without coats. I came with hat, scarf, gloves. I've not touched them for the last 3 or 4 days.
They came in quite handy the very first night, though, when we went to see the first night, the Rockefeller Christmas tree, right after you arrived.
Yeah, my mammoth 24 hours up. So my flight left Manchester at 2:15. It was a little bit delayed, but that was the scheduled time. It was 2:15. Getting into New York at 5:20. But it was ahead. Instead of the 8 hours, 5 minutes, they said it was going to be like 7 hours, 20 minutes. And so I actually, the flight went really quick, and I actually felt like I was arriving at tea time anyway, not 20 past 10 at night. It felt like 5:20. So I got an amazing welcome at the airport with big signs, A up, Dar, and if you're in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. You'll have seen that. But they were like, do you want to just go home and sleep, or do you want to see some of New York? Well, I was like a excited kid, so I was like, yeah, let's go and see New York. So we went straight to Times Square. I think that was the first place, wasn't it?
Well,
Drop
no,
stuff off here.
Let's see. We did. No, we went straight out to Rockefeller because that's where you had your street food that you loved so much.
Yes.
Yeah. So we went there to get dinner.
That was a good recommend. Yeah, dinner. Because I had the airline. I flew Aer Lingus. I'll never fly Aer Lingus again. That was the only downside of this trip, was that horrendous journey. And it was just this little tray of pasta with bolognese on it, and then a granola bar, but which I declined a few hours later. So I was hungry, and you suggested this street food, didn't you, which was really nice. So we sat outside at like 10 o'clock at night. Was it 10 o'clock at that time?
No, it was.
Felt like
it was your 10 o'clock. It was probably between 6 and 7. And it was the shortest line we had ever seen. This place is called Adele's. And there's a lot of halal street carts here in the city. And Halal Guys has been one of the most famous. But then Elle and I learned before we moved here about this one called Adele's that's right near Radio City Music Hall. And usually the line is like 45 minutes that you wait to get food. And we waited, 5 minutes? It's the shortest I'd ever seen it. So I was like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity. So I'm rushing them across the street. I'm like, Simon, you got to try this food. It was worth it.
It was worth it. And we sat outside, and I was like, I can't believe I'm sat in New York in the dark eating food at night outside in December. But yeah, it was great. And then we went to see the Rockefeller Christmas tree and then Times Square. And Times Square, by that point, I was flagging. It just kind of came over me all of a sudden, and I was like, I can't really move. I've stopped. And it was really overwhelming on the senses. Oh, I've got something on my glasses now. It's going to bug me for the whole life. It was a real attack on the senses because, well, Times Square and
back yet. We're on. Maybe freeing up the resource. Apparently, this is a resource hog of an app. I think we're back. Let me get my head out of
It
the
just
way.
says here nothing but.
Choppy.
Okay.
Are we back then?
All right. Thank you, Kelly. And then Robin says tentatively here. Okay.
Don't know what that
I
means.
think it's coming back because I'm seeing it move on here.
Kelly says, I think you're back.
Okay. I'm going to pause this on here too. Maybe if we're not streaming it on our phones.
Back choppy though.
Yeah. So Simon, just to free up the internet, if you have the chat.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I've got notes.
Just flip your screen. There.
Oh, there.
Yeah. Nope. Oh, okay, that'll work. All right. You paused. Okay. So are we back? Is that a little bit better?
Thumbs up.
Okay. Sorry about that. New York internet.
Yeah. I'm going to come on to some differences, but one of the questions here is, Simon, is there any American food or drink that you've tried you really enjoy? So drink, I really like the Welsh's grape and anything grape flavoured here, because most of our drinks that are purple are blackcurrant rather than grape, and they have quite a lot of grape things. In terms of food, we talked about that street food. That was quite nice. What else?
Magnolia Bakery.
Magnolia Bakery, made famous by Carrie in Sex and the City. So they do a banana pudding, and I had a red velvet cake banana pudding. They come in like a Ben and Jerry's tub. That was really nice. And we went back there today and brought some back, so it's in the fridge at the moment. I haven't tried American cheesecake yet, but I had some Italian cheesecake with Robin at Cafe Reggio. That was really nice. What else
key
about
lime cheesecake ready to go?
Key lime cheesecake?
Yeah, but you haven't tasted it yet, so
No.
it's still, the jury's out on that one.
But what other food have I had there?
Pizza.
Oh,
yeah.
The pizza was nice. We had proper New York pizza.
Yeah, Bleecker Street Pizza, the rival of Joe's Pizza, right? Or is it Joe's or John's? John's. One of the J's. Robin will know.
Kelly says, oh man, so jelly you went to Magnolia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've been to 2 different Magnolias. One in Columbus Circus. Is that right?
Circle.
Yeah.
Circus. It is a circus, so
Yeah,
that's not
felt
entirely wrong.
We have circuses in London. Well, we have one in Nottingham. We have Canning Circus. And the other one was Times Square. Was it Times Square? Would you class that as Times Square?
We were in Rockefeller Center area.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're so close, aren't they? They're like a couple of blocks.
Literally
from
one
each
block
other.
away, one big long block away.
So from here, where we are, the Empire State Building is like 15-minute walk, would you say?
Like 20-minute walk.
And it's about the same again for Times Square. So one stop for not Rockefeller, Empire State, and 2 or 3 stops on the tram for Times Square. So really close in Manhattan to everything here.
You're becoming an expert at the subway now, right?
I've not had to do it on my own, so that remains to be seen. But I got lost today. So I went up the Rockefeller Center to the viewing deck so I could see the Empire State Building, because we did Empire State Building yesterday. And all I had to do was get out of Rockefeller Center and go to the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree to meet these. I got lost. I had to pay a beggar $5 to help me find my way.
Well, it was a bargain. The original price was $100, so you did all right.
Yeah, he wanted 100. So I do find that I'm drinking, but everything is 0 sugar, so which is really good. But I'm drinking lots because I'm just so hot. I wish I'd packed some t-shirts, but what are you laughing at?
I'm so hot.
I'm so hot.
This is the part where you say, "Yeah, you are."
So my wish list, I've just realised, not ticked off Empire State from last night.
That was one of the big ones too.
That was one of the bigger ones.
You gonna read off your list?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bagel.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah.
had a bagel for breakfast. That was really nice with avocado in it. I can't find where you had.
Oh, it's down at the bottom?
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
normally down there, is it?
But that's the shortcut. There you go. And if you hit there, there you
Okay.
go.
And then ticket. So on my wish list, Empire State Building, Ground Zero, Central Park, Columbus Circle and Magnolia Bakery, Wicked on Broadway, walk across the Brooklyn Bridge, Stonewall, Staten Island Ferry to see Statue of Liberty, Grand Central, the High Line, Times Square, that's terrible, Rockefeller Center, Shake Madison Square, Times Square by day, the Met, Biscuits and Gravy, and Arby's.
Oh, and Arby's.
And Arby's. And
Rip.
guess what? Yeah, R.I.P. Arby's. No is in Manhattan.
Yeah, but there was one, and we had it because all this time we knew that you wanted to go to Arby's. So we walked by it because it was close to Elle's school months ago. We're like, oh, good. Okay, we've got the Arby's sorted. Simon will be good. And then it shut.
It's
shut
shut.
all the way down.
Simon, have you tried Popeye's biscuits and gravy? Everybody told me to try biscuits and gravy, and that's not happened yet. But there's still 48 hours to go. So out of that wish list, have a guess how many things we've gone to this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. We have done 16 out of 19 already. So the Met is in tomorrow because the lovely Susan Wands, who is the author of Magician and Fool and Empress and High Priestess, got in touch and said, I understand you're in New York. I can get you and your friends into Met on my pass. So we're meeting Susan tomorrow afternoon at 1 to go and see the Met. So that's the Metropolitan Museum, isn't it?
Yes. Of art.
Yeah. So that would be really, really cool. Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I'll giggle. It made me giggle.
Be careful walking around by yourself over there. Arby's is so good. There you are, you see.
Yeah, but Tammy Pie agrees with sort of it's overrated. But I've had it. Like, I liked Arby's, but then you move to New York City, and there's so to eat
There's
fast
actual food.
Yeah, and to eat fast food in New York City, just my brain sort of disconnects. And we've done it. We tried Taco Bell the very first night we moved here, and that was not a good. We did not enjoy that very much. And then we had,
to say the least.
I think we once stopped at a Burger King on the way to a Broadway show, and I think that's it. That's all the fast food we've eaten. Oh, we had Popeyes once. We did have Popeyes once. It's very salty.
But I was also told that the Popeyes biscuits and gravy, we could get better quality biscuits and gravy somewhere.
Jacob's
Pickles is where but we may run out of time, so you may just have to get desperate Popeyes at the end of the block.
Or something closer. Well, that's probably good.
Yeah, we'll have to find out.
So that's still to do. So Arby's is off the list. We can't do that. So after the Met tomorrow, there's just biscuits and gravy. And then that's everything done. So do you want to hear our itinerary? So what we did, Friday, obviously traveling, landed Rockefeller and Times Square, which was cool. Saturday, we started off by going to Dumbo, which was great because we found this little coffee shop when we first got off the subway. And they hang their toilet paper the proper way. And I was like, welcome to America. Because the toilet roll was right. So we had a coffee there. I think that was the only time this week where we've been able to walk into a coffee shop and get a table, because it's just been, and that's one of the things I was going to talk about when we talk about the differences between UK and US. We went to Times Square for 9 a.m. just to try and beat all the crowds, and we were looking for coffee shops, weren't we? And you can get one and go, but you just can't sit in anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of them they have like standing only, just because they don't want people milling around in there forever.
Yes, Robin, that is a takeaway from America. The toilet paper being hung the right way. It's the only place I've seen it as well. But big up, what was the name of that?
Now it's hung the right way in this apartment, I will tell you.
I've been tempted so many times to turn it around. I might do it before I go. It was the one where it's got like a misspelling. It's got a C instead of an S at the end. The coffee shop in Dumbo.
Oh, Devotion.
Yeah, that's where we had the coffee. So big up Devotion for putting their toilet rolls the right way.
They must be watching.
They know.
And from Dumbo, so Dumbo is down under the Metropolitan Bridge overpass. You've got that iconic scene of the bridge between the two buildings, and it frames the Empire State Building if you catch it just right. Because here's the New York
Can you
soundtrack.
Hear the sirens?
It was early in the morning, so we got a good spot, and these were saying that an hour or so later, and you'd be fighting for a position to take a picture. So, and then we walked across a park, didn't we, to the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge, and seeing the skyline for the first time like that was really incredible. In fact, I took a picture saying this is probably the takeaway picture from the trip.
Well, he'll be scrolling for hours looking for that.
No, I screenshotted it this morning, didn't I? Before we headed to. Yeah, this is it.
That's a great photo, though.
So I just look at that. That's a fab picture. So that is from the park just at Dumbo before we got on that bridge and walked from Brooklyn to Manhattan. And that was brilliant. So really, really enjoyed that. I'm trying to keep an eye on comments because I haven't got my phone now connected. I don't want to miss any. So if there is any comments, do put them in capitals and I'll try and look out for them. And then we walked all the way from Dumbo over the Brooklyn Bridge, from Brooklyn to Manhattan, and then we walked to the One World Trade Center. We got lost inside Oculus.
As is bound to happen.
Yeah, I acted like a proper tourist and put on a real British accent, received pronunciation. Excuse me, sir, could you tell me where Ground Zero is? So then we went to Ground Zero, which was very poignant. My takeaway from that was this, and I took a photograph of it. It was this beautiful blue rose that was just placed at the memorial, and it was really I was really glad that I made the effort to go there, because the last time I was in the States, the Twin Towers were still standing. So I knew that if I ever came to New York, I'd want to go there. What annoyed me about that were the kind of people that are like this, posing. I'm like, it's not the place to get a selfie. Like, it's the Statue of Liberty behind you or something. But we did Oculus there as well. And then that evening is when we caught the Staten Island ferry to go past the Statue of Liberty, which again was another awe-inspiring moment. But particularly, and I think it's something that will always stick in my mind, is that vision of the ferry turning to go into dock and just seeing the Manhattan skyline all lit up, because it was sunset. I guess it was twilight. It was sunset when we went past the Statue of Liberty. Then we had to wait about half an hour, didn't we, to catch the ferry back, and it's about 20 minutes across. So it went from sunset to nighttime, and it was just whoa, that you have a great excuse to buy a tourist t-shirt. Yeah. And then Sunday we got up really early and we got to Central Park for 8:30. Took both dogs and walked them through Central Park. I really wanted to see the what was the fountain with the angel?
The Bethesda
The
fountain.
Bethesda.
I don't know if it's pronounced Bethesda or Bethesda,
Okay.
but I think I always say Bethesda, which means it's probably wrong.
So if anybody's like my
Bethesda.
age, you might remember a program called Angels in America. And it was a really important program for me because it was about a Mormon who was married, but also came out. And the opening sequence starts with the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, and it goes above the clouds and keeps dipping down. And then eventually it comes down into New York, into Central Park, and it comes right up to the angel's face. And then the angel just lifts her head and opens her eyes. And that music, that soundtrack music, is always, I've never forgot it. So going there was really, really cool. Then we went to Magnolia and got the banana pudding. And then I got to redeem my birthday present, which was seeing Wicked on Broadway. And that was just incredible. I even just got goose pimples there thinking about it. I've seen a show in the West End. I've seen, theatre productions and concerts, but the production of it was just, it was mind blowing. But yeah, loved every minute of that. And I think you'd warned me that the seats were really cramped and uncomfortable. We couldn't have had better seats in there. It was the Gershwin Theatre, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest theaters. That's probably outside of Back to the Future, I think was the biggest theater we had been in. I guess there's a few big ones, but yeah, that probably had the roomiest seats, especially at the front where we were.
Yeah.
That's really, really unheard of. But I actually, I was like, okay, we want to make sure that the seats are going to be comfy. So we actually looked it up in advance, buying the tickets just to make sure it would be, because we know you're a tall person, so and just a big boy needs a good comfy seat.
These seats, because in the Theatre Royal in Nottingham and the concert hall, which is all part of the Royal Centre, they are really uncomfortable. These were soft, padded, spacious. I'd got leg room, and I could put my feet down below the seats in front, so you could almost like lay flat. It was that comfortable. I never didn't need to go and stretch my legs at the interval or anything. And we were on the third row from the front. And a lot of the characters always came to our bit, didn't they? So you could see like all their features, and that was amazing. So thank you, because that was a really.
You're welcome.
That was
it's always a bit of if you sit really close, then you can see the actors when they spit.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you have to learn to tune that out if you want to sit up close.
There was a guy that kept spitting.
It was always the doctor.
I was like, that almost hit me.
At least it didn't have Jonathan Groff in it.
Yeah.
Talk about coming to America. I know. Don't talk about coffee cups. I've bought 6. I got here and I was like, I'm not bothered about souvenirs, perhaps just like a brochure or something. And then I've just ended up buying mugs for some reason. I passed on the Rockefeller buying a mug there in the shop. I was like, no, I can't take.
How many mugs did you have?
6.
So you have 6. You bought 6.
So I've got the Magnolia Bakery.
That's a good mug.
The 2 Wicked ones. One that I bought, which was a big mug, and then you got a free one, but it's reusable. It's a cup kind of thing.
Oh, the cup that we got with the beverage.
Yeah,
okay.
with the beverage. I didn't know they had alcohol in theirs. I've been like, I should have done that.
Yeah. We were having fun.
I bought an Empire State Building mug.
Did you get the one with the Kong on it?
I got 2 Empire State Building mugs. One that says New York, one that has got King Kong on the edge of the mug, not drawn on, actually stuck onto the mug. There was another one I bought somewhere else before Empire State. Oh, Starbucks.
Oh,
the yellow one.
Oh yeah. You got the
taxi
cab one.
That's the 6. Yeah, I really liked it. It's the only Starbucks we went into this whole time, and then I saw this in New York Starbucks mugs. I thought, well, I collect Starbucks mugs, so I may as well have a New York one. And then from Wicked, we met up with. a work colleague. So somebody, Lisa, who's in my team, we'd got a crossover. She'd come to New York for her big birthday. I won't say which. To drink, and then we took the High Line. I can't really describe the High Line. Do you want to say
so
what?
it's name a newer up and coming area that's been an industrial area, and they're trying to make it more like residential and whatnot. But there's a big mall there called Hudson Yards that stretches, and at the end of, so we live on. You've already shared. So we 23rd, and if you walk, you can walk 2 long blocks, and as long as you don't flash straight out.
When did I share that you were on 23rd?
You told us you did somewhere.
I remember you saying it for a clip or something.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming out vlog to be.
Oh yeah.
Oh right. I could have edited that.
Yeah, that's okay. 23rd is a very long street.
The entire walk there back.
I did do that.
Yeah.
Coming out the front door, into town and back again. I told the world how to find Becca.
Don't go back and watch. Just... So we're like 2 blocks away, but it's like an old railroad trestle, and it's really cool. But it's like a really narrow park, and it's just really meant for people to walk.
We're freezing off and on.
No.
Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, so we walked from basically 23rd up on the High Line above, which gives you some great city and Hudson River views as we walked up to Hudson Yards, which is where you saw the vessel for the first time.
The vessel. It'll be on the vlog, but if you the vessel at Hood, you'll see it's a mind-blowing structure that you can walk up or take a lift. But the lift, because it's just a structure that is round with nothing above, the lift has to go like that and then up it. So I was like, oh no, I don't like it. But it was cool. It was a really good experience. And then we went to Grand Central for about 10 o'clock at night. So these first couple of days, the Saturday and the Sunday, we were out from early morning till like 10:30, 11 o'clock both days, cramming so much in. But it was brilliant. And then Monday, we met up with Robin from Lodestall Tarot. I don't know if Robin's still in the chat. And Ramon from Moon Scarab. So we met them in Barnes & Noble in
Union
Square, which is near... It's so famous that's near.
It's a little bit south of the Flatiron Building. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I thought there was something other than Union Square that it's near. But I could be wrong. But anyway, we met them in there, and that was really nice. So we got to hang out for most of the day. Robin took us to a few shops like Beads of Paradise, and there was a couple of shops called Stay, which are, I think it's the same company, but they're a couple of doors away from each other. Wow, I thought Watkins in London had a lot of tarot decks, but that first Namaste there was tons of tarot decks, so that was cool. Then we went to Evolution, and from Evolution we went to Cafe Reggio. I'm here, says Robin. I'm glad we're still here then. That means we're broadcasting still.
Right.
And Cafe Reggio, Robin has said, if I ever came to New York, that was one place that he wanted me to see. And I think it's on the 1930s, was it? It's been there since the 1930s. And it's really old-fashioned on the inside and really quaint. I was lucky to get a table in there because it was really busy when we went in. And it's got the first espresso machine.
Espresso? I beg your pardon. Get him out.
What?
Espresso. There's no X.
Tell you.
Come in
long
here.
suffering.
Hi, Ella. Espresso.
Anyway, it was the first. It produced the first ever cappuccino. Have I said cappuccino right?
That's right. We'll do.
First ever cappuccino in the States. So that was really cool. And then from Cafe Reggio, we walked through another park where they were filming
Washington Square Park.
Washington Square Park to the village. And we went to Stonewall, which again is another place that I just wanted to experience and see because, obviously Stonewall. I've known about the Stonewall riots and how that started the gay liberation movement in 1969. And there's been lots of connections because, we went to see Wicked the day before and that Stonewall riot happened on Judy Garland's funeral. Well, that's not where her funeral was, but obviously the gay community went to Stonewall to pay respect on that day, and that's when the riot happened. And then we went from there to Julius's, which is the oldest gay pub in New York. And that was nice. And we just sat and chatted for a couple of hours, didn't we, in those two pubs. And then we had to say goodbye to Robin. Ramon didn't come with us to the pubs. He had to get off back to Philadelphia. He'd come all the way from Philadelphia to see us. So that was really nice. And then in the evening, we came back here, freshened up, and then we took a walk back to Madison Square and we went to Shake Shack. So I experienced Shake Shack.
Where we ate outside again in December in New York.
And it was so warm that point. So it had rained during that day. That's the only time we've had rain so far, just on the Monday. But in the evening, it was really warm. The rain seemed to change the temperature, didn't it, from being cold. And we sat outside again in the evening and had a meal sitting outside, which is just...
But I just want to say too, so Robin, who's in the chat here, like he really put a lot of thought into kind of mapping out this whole itinerary for you. So he had this plan. He's like, okay, make sure this is the route. And he's such a good tour guide. Even when he's not with us, he's like, okay, make sure you go this way, this way, this way. And yeah, I thought it was it was really designed to kind of hit places that, he thought you would enjoy.
Robin said, just my luck, I got them on the cold, wet, rainy day.
I know, but you were such a good sport, Robin.
But that didn't matter because that was the day we spent most time inside anyway, We had a good hour in Barnes & Noble in the cafe there. And then Cafe Reggio was in there, I'd say a good hour and a half. And then with Stonewall and Julius's, then that was all indoors and sitting and getting to know people. And it was great to chat to Ramona and Robin in real life. You see these people online and you never know whether you'll ever meet them or not. And then when you get the opportunity to meet them, you don't want to always be walking and looking at things. It's nice just to sit down at a table with a drink and just chill out and chat, so because you don't know if you'll get that chance ever again. So I think if there was a day, Robin, where I had to have rain, that would probably be the day anyway, because most of it was indoors. So that was, and then we came back and watched Sleepless in Seattle, and I fell asleep.
We just went full cheese at that point, just full cheese. But Elle hadn't seen it yet, and Elle had lived in Seattle with me and then here in New York, so it made sense.
Yeah.
It was an education.
And then when it finished, I was like, oh, that was good. And Jen was like, how much of that actually did you see, Simon?
Because he was like this through a lot of it.
Just nodding.
I was exhausted.
I was resting my eyes.
Little grandma.
I was like, that's such an old person thing to say. So then Tuesday, that was just yesterday, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We walked to the Empire State Building. I'd booked tickets for 10 a.m. and we got there at 10 a.m. and there were crowds of people. And then as we got up onto the first floor bit, they started saying there is no visibility from the top. You can reschedule tickets if you like, but there is zero visibility. And they kept saying, you are in the clouds. If you go up there, you are in the clouds. You can't see anything. And I was like, I don't want to go up there and just look out at white, that. So we looked at when we could change tickets. Oh, you'd got a couple of hours of schooling you needed to do in the afternoon. But we could see that from noon, the sun was coming out. So we had to pay a little bit extra because it was the sunset slot, but we got the tickets changed to 4 p.m. And that was brilliant because we got there and I was kind of like rushing along because by that time, because in London, if you've got a slot at 4 p.m., you go up at 4 p.m. for like the Shard or the Wheel or whatever. But here, you've got to go for a museum first, and you've got to do this. And this woman went past me. She shouted at her husband, "We've got 6 minutes of daylight left." And I was like, "Oh, I really want to see it in the daytime." Do you know what I mean? So I was like dragging these two along, like, "Oh,
But we live here. We can go back if
can,
we really
can,
want to see.
can we just go up, please?" So we did kind of do a whistle stop through the observatory bits. Got up there. It was rammed, though, wasn't it? We lost each other on the viewing deck.
Yeah, we were probably separated for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Easy.
And I think every time I was on one side, you was on the other.
We just kept both going around.
And I'm like, well, if I just keep walking around, I'm going to find them. And you just had to be patient because there'd be 2 or 3 people in front of you. But if you just stood at a spot you wanted to get a good look at, eventually they moved away and then you got your spot. And I managed to get all the sides. But we got up there and it was sunset. So there was a beautiful skyline. And we stayed up there long enough until it was dark. So then we saw the, all lit up. And you said, didn't you, Elle, it wasn't until you were up there you realised just how huge New York is.
Yeah, because it's just so walkable. Like, everything's, you just walk there, subway there. It's just...
feels like it doesn't take very long to get from one place to another. But then when you see it all stretched out.
Yeah.
From within it.
Especially in Seattle, where it's like downtown, that's like a tiny little cluster. Whereas New York or Manhattan is like, it's the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in your eyes, Simon. Yeah, but so the Empire State was, again, one of those life moments where I was doing a lot of filming for the vlog. But then I put my camera away and think, I'm just going to stand now and stare and take it all in myself because, again, it could be the only time in my life that I see this. And you want to almost, even though there's video evidence, you want to experience the moment. You want to live the moment and not always through a lens. So I made sure there was lots of opportunity, just try and soak it all in and be present in the moment up there. So, and I found these again just on the inside and I was like, wow, that was just an incredible moment. And Jen was like, yeah, it's a shame we didn't get to experience that with you because so then I was like, well, let's go back out. So we went back out, we got like loads of selfies and things like that and enjoyed it together as well.
We'll watch the vlog.
Yeah, you watched the vlog.
Yeah, Elle and I were like, we'll watch the vlog to find out what Simon thinks of everything because he kind of runs off and does his so I'm sure it's going to be an amazing vlog. But like, we didn't get to hear any of that commentary. I don't know what he thought of that. It's his trick to get us to finally watch the videos again.
And then we decided to come back and have a takeaway. So Jen treated us to a beautiful Indian takeaway, and I was saying, I wonder if you'll think there's a difference between Indian takeaways in America as opposed to Indian takeaways in England, but it was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
There's certain things they don't do here, like onion barges. Why? But yeah, it was really nice. That side dish we had last night was, I forgot what it was called now. It was a sargaloo or something like that.
I expected samosa.
Yeah,
with chickpeas.
But it was almost like a biscuity base.
Elle, you called it like Indian nachos, which I thought was a very apt way to describe it.
Yeah. And then this morning, we got up early again and we walked to Times Square, which took about 25 to 30 minutes walk from here. It's a straight road all the way down to Times Square, and you pass by Empire State Building. And so we walked to Times Square. We got lots of pictures. It was half as busy as it was on Friday night. So yeah, loads of video in there. And then I'd woken up this morning, and originally I was going to just let you guys have a bit of a respite and a sleep in, and I was going to attempt to find my way there and back. And then I woke up this morning. I thought, if I'm going to Times Square, what can I do that might kill some time? And then I thought I could go to the top of the Rock, so that's the Rockefeller Center, and see the view from an opposite direction in the morning with the Empire State Building. Because the great thing, one thing about being at the top of the Empire State Building is you can see the skyline, but you're missing the Empire State Building. So, and it wasn't expensive. It was $40 to go up there. So did that. But then when I woke up, Jen had messaged during the night saying, "You guys toy shopping?"
Yeah, we got some coffee, and then we went to FAO Schwartz. Elle's a big Jellycats fan, and they have a lot going on with that right now. Or Jellycat, not Jellycats.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
So that was happening when I went to the top of the Rock. And then when I came down, that's when I got lost, because we agreed to meet up at Rockefeller Christmas Tree. And that's where I was stopped twice by this same person who was asking for money. And it was really strange because I obviously look British, because I was just walking down the street and he just came up to me and went, "Are you from Liverpool?" I'd not spoken or anything. I was just walking down the street and I was like, "No, Nottingham." And he's like, "Well, can you spare $100? Because if you give me $100, I can feed X amount of children. Or if you give me $50, I can feed 3 children. And if you give me $25, I can feed 1 child." And I was like, "What is he going on about?" So I was just like, "No, it's okay," because we get stopped all the time in New York for people trying to.
Yeah, I had to yell at someone when a Buddhist.
Came
I was
up.
like,
I was
"Don't
like,
take that."
Not real. It's a scam. They're not
They'll
real
slap
Buddhists.
a bracelet on you and charge you $20. Do not take the beads from Buddhists. If you come to visit, don't take your photos with the cartoon characters. They will harass you.
I saw the Grinch and I was about to take a photo, and Jen was like, "No, because you'll have to give them $20. Everybody's at you all the time in New York wanting something. Anyway, I got really lost. I can walk out and he saw me again. He went, "Oh, you've come back." And I was like, "I'm lost." And he's like, "Well, I can help you. Where do you want to go?" So I was like, "Rockefeller Christmas Tree." He went, "Sure, it's straight down that road there." I said, "Let me give you some money." So I went to get $5 out of my wallet. And he was like, "Well, $100 will feed 3 children." And I was like, "I can only give you 5. So I gave him $5.
Oh, you have not seen The Naked Cowboy. Is The Naked Cowboy, have you heard anything?
Oh, and there's a naked cowgirl.
Oh, that's right. So Lily Rose wants to know if you've seen The Naked Cowboy, and I forgot. We saw, when I came with Shane in 2013, Shane was very excited about The Naked Cowboy. Now we know why. But yeah, so you haven't seen him, but I believe he is still going.
He's not as often.
Do you see him when you go to school sometimes?
Yeah. He hasn't been around for
well, it's cold.
Yeah. Oh, that didn't stop him. That did not stop him.
I didn't see any naked cowboys.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And then we went to Magnolia and we picked up some baked stuff. And that's in the fridge for later. And then we got back here and set up the live. We just had some lunch, a steak sandwich, which was nice. Kim's coming tonight from Moon Whisper. If I get to meet somebody else from the community, which I'm really excited about, because Kim has been a subscriber to my channel since day one, like one of the first people, and has always been really, really supportive. So I'm really looking forward to meeting Kim. And we're going to...
She's literally in the air right now. Yeah, I made reservations for a bar called The Cauldron. The Cauldron. It seemed appropriate. So, so somebody's asking if you've gotten any tarot decks while you're here.
No.
How much tarot have you done while you're here, Simon?
Do you know, they said to me, did you bring a tarot deck? And I went, I didn't. Right, so...
Can you believe that? He's a phony. This is...
Yeah.
People ask...
cave is lies.
People ask if we still do tarot, which we do, by the way.
More than him.
I haven't seen them do tarot, just saying.
No, we're keeping you busy.
You're keeping us to go see Robin. You did.
So I paid for a carry-on bag and a case that you're allowed 20 not 20 grams, that would be really light. 20 kilos, is it? Oh, I don't know. So I decided, I didn't know what it was. I decided I'm just going to travel light. And I thought, I'm going to go and stay with tarot people in New York. I'd heard about all these shops. I'll just pick a deck up. And in my mind, it was Lisa Hunt's Fairy Tale Tarot. I was like, that is one deck I want to get because I'm impatient and it's not coming out till April in the UK. And can't get it anywhere. Can't even get it on Amazon over here. Not that I really want to, but that was like the last. Every shop we went into, I even asked behind the counter, have you got Lisa Hunt's Fairy Tale Tarot? No, nobody had it. And so I didn't end up buying a deck, but Robin gifted me a deck. But I haven't opened it because one of the reasons, I mean, he gifted it me with other gifts. So did, Ramon, both very generous. But he said he really wants to hear my views on it. So I was going to make a video when I got back about that, opening it up and looking at it. It is a deck that I had previously and gave away, but this is a second edition. So it's got you can even tell by the thickness of the box that I think they've improved the card stock. It's got different backs. So it's the manuscript one by Dark Cinema. So yeah, I didn't buy any, and I looked in all the shops and I thought, I've either got that or I'm not interested in that. So, and there's no indie decks here. And I kept thinking all those indie decks that I don't buy because they're in the States. I was thinking when I'm in the States, I might be able to get them. And, like you go into Watkins and it's mostly mass, but there's quite a lot of Robert M. Place decks or Cilla Conway decks. None of that. So not been able to get any cool decks. And then tomorrow, I don't know what we're doing in the morning. It's pretty free at the moment into tomorrow morning. And then in the afternoon, we're meeting Susan Wands to go and have a look at it. And then Friday is my last day, and I've got to get to the airport for about 4, I think. My flight is 7:15. So, yeah, and then it'll all be over with. But anyway, before we go on much longer, I thought we'd talk about noticeable differences. Just for a bit of fun. And then we're going to do the Cadbury test. Because American, how thin that is. American Cadbury apparently tastes different to British Cadbury. So I brought this. And they're going to taste the British and I'm going to taste the American. Before we do that, so noticeable differences between that we've spotted that have been either amusing or kind of jaw-dropping. So the first one, and I was warned about this before I came, is New York is really, really expensive. Like, you probably noticed the difference between Seattle and here as well, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it. Yes and no. The food is actually fairly like if you go to the grocery, I feel like it's a lot more expensive. I think eating out, we've actually been able to do that more economically than we did in Seattle, but also the portion sizes are so huge. We share food all the time to make it easier to. So yeah, that helps.
Food, like we've just an example. What can we give it?
Car parking one.
Yeah, there's that. But for food, so lunch, we just had lunch today. I've had a beef sandwich with
cheesesteak,
a Philly cheesesteak,
a cheesesteak sandwich with fries that had bacon and cheese on. $40.
Yeah,
and that's the lunch. So. Yes, the parking, 2 hours of parking is $56.90 for 2 hours parking.
Right. But that Adele's that you had that first night, that street food, that was $11 for that huge plate of food.
Yeah, which is probably the same. So street vendor food in Nottingham would be anywhere between probably 5 and 10.
Mm.
So 11, I was like, oh, okay, that's
The more
not
on
too
par.
bad. Yeah. But some things are astronomical. So a round of drinks for 4 people, $78 for 4 drinks in a pub. So yeah, it was like I brought money, and then about a couple of days ago, I'm like, I had to tone it down a little bit because it's just expensive. But people warned me that it'd be expensive, but I didn't know how expensive it would be. So that was some noticeable difference. And then tax on everything. I'd forgotten about that. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the States 20 years ago, but everything you buy isn't the price that you're gonna. Everything you see on the shelf isn't the price you're gonna pay. And I'm saying this to English viewers as well, because everybody in the States will be aware of that. But so I think they do two bottles for $5. So I think that's expensive, because these in the States are about £1.20 to £1.50. But you can get 2 for $5, which is a deal. So I think they're about $3 each, are they usually? But then when you get to the till, it's not $5 you pay, and you've then got to put your tax on top as well. So that's something that keeps catching me out all the time. I forget. I'm like, I'll be in the gift shop like this morning at the Rockefeller Center. I bought a few little bits, and then in my mind I'm thinking, yeah, well, that's going to cost $40. And then you get there and it's like, okay, that's you've added it up wrong. Tipping. Oh my God, you have to tip everyone. The first night we went to that street food place, and I said, oh, I'll get this. So we got these 3 meals, and it was 30, what was it, 39?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
You had a dollar change, right?
Yeah. So it was $39, and I gave $40, and he gave me the dollar back. And as I walked away, Jen went, "You didn't tip him?" I'm like, "Why would I tip somebody, a street vendor?" But you tip like everybody, and now it's you go into a shop or a bar or whatever, and they give you the card machine, and it asks for the tip amount, and it will say something like 10% is this much, 20% is this much, and you choose what you want to tip. And then I forgot all about it on like the second day I was here. So Jen and I came up to see to the dogs, and I met my work colleague in the bar downstairs, and I ordered a round of drinks, and he gave me a pen. And I'm like, "What? I'm paying by card." And he's like, "Yeah." So he took the card off me, and he's like, "Am I keeping the card?" I'm like, "No, I want it back." He was like, "So you're not keeping a tab open?" I was like, "No." And then he gave me the pen and a receipt, and I'm like, "I don't know what's this about." And then look, they want some money, and I've got to sign, so I had to then take $5 out, give it him, and then sign to say. But yeah, the whole tipping thing in the UK, you only really tip in a restaurant, perhaps if you've had waiting service. That's the only time you'd normally tip. It'd be that person. So you'd say, "Oh, thank you," and you'd leave a couple of extra pound or something. Or you might tip a taxi driver. Or at Christmas time, you tip going to the hairdressers, the barbers, that sort of thing. But other than that, you don't generally, you would never tip in a pub, somebody serving you drinks. So that was something. The other thing is low toilets.
I'm still getting used to the amount of times I've dipped my hands.
Gosh, they're low.
Gross.
I'm like, I need handrails to get position since I tried yoga once in the 90s. It's like they're almost on the floor. And there's so much water in the bowl.
That was what
washed. Which can be gross if that's not what you're
Are we back?
Oh, that was a quick blip. Let me see.
Are we back?
I think we're back.
How about refrigerators? Huge here. Jen's refrigerator is probably about the size of our normal refrigerators.
Yeah. Bigger than yours in your flat.
Well, I've only got an under the
Yeah,
counter
it's a
one.
very nice normal size, but then I have a small like stove and oven, and then a small dishwasher. But I'm lucky to have a dishwasher in the city. Yeah. So yes, we are. I meant to say we.
Of course. But having said that, when I used to come to the States, I can remember my in-laws having a huge refrigerator that had an ice dispenser. So we're starting to get them more in the UK now. I'm going to hurry this up because Elle's got to go to school soon. Doors open outwards.
Oh,
So like onto the street, and I'm like, that just wouldn't happen in the UK because health and safety, people walking along. But yeah, doors always open outwards here, which is interesting. What else? Trying to find somewhere to sit and have coffee. We must pace the streets just trying to find a coffee shop or somewhere that you can sit down in.
Well, and part of the problem is we've taken, and she hasn't made an appearance on the book because she is worn out, but we've been taking Elle's dog Otter everywhere, or a lot of places with us too. So we have to, it's very dog friendly here, way more than you would ever expect. But yeah, so the not being able to like go into a restaurant and sit down has been a little bit of an extra challenge. So that's made it a little bit harder too. But luckily we can find some outside spots still.
Yeah, we've done most of our sitting down, having drinks and food outside because everywhere is rammed. But it's, you see in the films like Sex and the City where they just meet up with friends, get a coffee and sit at a table and natter, and it's half empty. Just that's not the reality.
Where was that?
Can we go there?
Yeah, it's just not a reality. Everywhere is rammed. Late opening times. The city that never sleeps, maybe in the evening, but they don't open till 10 a.m. And or even like Target. The other morning I went down to Target to get a few bits, which is just across the road, and I got there and it was shut at like 10 to 8 in the morning. I'm like, but Times Square, the shops don't open till 10 o'clock. And you're like, wow. But then they're open till like midnight, which we just don't get in the UK. Everything shuts at 5:30, 6 p.m. So internet access is brilliant here. Doesn't matter where you are, you can get on internet, and it's good internet. You were saying that, weren't you, Elle? On the first day, they said you'll find that, like in the UK, you get on an internet and it's crappy.
It's just fake. It
never works. Here, you just look for an internet where you are. So if you're in Rockefeller Center, they'll have one, and it's really good. I can upload pictures instantly, and or just the city kind of. I forget what we call it in the UK. When it's called something like the. I can't remember what it's called, but it's rubbish. But here, internet access is really good. So I brought.
American, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But if there's any UK people in, it's not the web. It's called something like the something, but everybody tries to use it. That's what I was going to say then. Anyway, it's gone. They're listening, just as you said how good the internet is, your screen sharpened up and to the clearest.
Yeah,
it's been
the internet's
awesome.
Good everywhere except for my apartment.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to wrap this up. So we'll do the Cadbury taste. This is the American version. Where was this from? Was this from Target? This one or did
the American? No, West Side Market.
West Side Market,
right? Probably.
Was it when we went to Target yesterday and got all that Hershey stuff?
Maybe.
I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you grabbed it and you're like, okay, we're going to do a taste test. But I'm going to actually have to taste the American against the.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
Yeah.
I think we should all do that.
We should all have to taste both. Should we all do the American first and then the British?
Yeah, let's get the worst one
Look
over
how thin it is.
All right, thank you. Oh, it's getting melty already.
I know, it's been in the fridge, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
American version of Cadbury's. Cadbury's Dairy
Right.
Milk is what we're having.
Oh, wow. I saw Robin posting in the chat. He was really loving the one you gave him. And he doesn't like this one.
It's like
Similar.
Christmas Cadbury's. When they
like the Easter eggs that we get, the Cadbury Easter eggs. Do you guys get those in the UK? It's good. It's melting.
It's not too dissimilar.
No.
There is an edge to it.
Oh, that was good.
Jen's apartment in the mountains. Simon, where are you in the city?
In the mountain.
Are you going to hop on a train and head to Delaware or Philly? Not this trip. There's just not enough time. I'm here for 7 nights. Just 7 nights. And we've just had a really tight itinerary.
Oh, that is different.
This smells different to me already.
Oh, it's thicker.
I can taste the difference. This is creamier.
This is better.
Yeah, the other one's like when they try and.
So here's what I've learned about British food, though. You guys have a much different, like, government process, right? The FDA here, they allow you to have so much crap in your food, and you guys don't have as many preservatives and artificial stuff in British food, so it oftentimes tastes better. Elle and I found a British store here in the city, so we'll stock up on British groceries. So we did very British Thanksgiving this year, actually.
I think here American stuff naturally runs a little more sweeter. I feel like everyone's palate here is it runs
This
sweeter.
is so much better.
Yeah, this one's more.
I didn't think it was noticeable.
The mountains reference was because of your internet. Like Jen in the mountains.
I mean, I think it's more that I had to get fiber instead of cable.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure what plan to buy, so I probably just don't have streaming.
It's uneven. We need to re-even it.
So what I would say,
thank you.
and you give your opinions for them. When I first had the American version of Dairy Milk, I was like, well, that's not too dissimilar. And it had like an edge to it that was like a note that was not quite right. And then having the British one again afterwards, this is more velvety and creamy. It is better.
The other
What's your
one's
thoughts?
Sweeter. It reminds me when they bump up the sweetness around Christmas in the UK. They'll or if they bring in more imported things or around holidays they'll.
The British one probably doesn't have all the additives and poisons. Yeah, and Robin messaged saying that he felt that the British one, because I think he tried Cadbury's Dairy Milk and didn't like it much. And I need to try Hershey's because I've never had Hershey's.
Don't do it.
I did. I had a cookies and cream Hershey's on my birthday that my team members brought me, but I didn't like it. But it was white chocolate. I don't like white chocolate anyway. But then Robin messaged saying this is much nicer. So
I'm with you, Robin.
Let's do the party as usual.
Yeah,
Are you still here in the States?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm in New York at the moment. This is where we're broadcasting from, live from Manhattan. I'm here till Friday. So in wrapping up, there won't be a cup of ketchup and cards on Saturday because I'll
Boo.
I'll be in bed. Because I fly through the night with the time difference, arriving in Manchester in the morning, and then I've got to be being picked up, taken to Sheffield. I've got to collect my car from Sheffield and then drive to Nottingham. So it's a whole ordeal, and I should get home in the afternoon of Saturday, and then I'm not going to go to bed because I'll have been awake for like 24 hours again. So there won't be a lives, but this is why, again, we've done this live now, and then on Sunday I'll edit the video, all like 500 segments, stitch them all together, and that should be up over the weekend. And then I'll do the card pull. There wasn't a card pull this week, obviously with being away.
Would you like to pull a card if I got you a deck?
Well, then it would be halfway. We're on Wednesday,
I
aren't
mess
we?
up the week.
Yeah.
Mess up the week.
And everybody would be
Throw
like,
them on the spot there, just like that.
Well, the thing is, if
You
I did the card pull, then and people wouldn't know because they're expecting it on a Saturday to do
Oh, I
it.
thought you meant after this video.
Yeah.
Live from New York, it's Simon. Hello, Marita. Too bad you don't have laptop. You could edit your vlog. No, yeah, I know, on the plane. That would give me something to do for 6 hours, wouldn't it? It'd probably take that long. But anyway, thanks for being here. It's been fun to hang out. Thank you both for your hospitality.
Of course.
It's been amazing. They've been so cool in showing me everywhere that I wanted to see. And it's never been an inconvenience, I hope.
Not at all.
So it's been wonderful. All right, so see you all when I'm back on British soil.
Okay. Thanks for letting us come on and say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
Nice to see
Been a
everyone.
while.
I know.
Yeah, it's been a while. Don't make sure you put pressure on for them to come back.
Yeah, Ramona already said something about mine. I was like, oh boy, these days.
But you also said hearing you talk about this again makes me.
It does make. Oh, I certainly I miss a lot of this, and it's like I don't even know right now like how to say all of that. So it's been nice just to let you do the work and me sit here and go like, oh yeah, that's ways to do this.
I'll probably put background music in some parts, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't put people to sleep. With Elle and I just sitting back here for show, really, for the most part.
No. Is there anything you want to say?
What's that?
Is there anything you want to say?
No, it's been great having you here. I think it's been a lot of fun. It's been something you've been talking about for a really long time, and I finally got to return the favor since I went out to Nottingham in 2019, 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago.
Trying to get them back now. I'm like, it's your turn now. Just saying, I'm here. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
But who knows? The future's in the future and all that.
That's right.
All right, everyone. Take care.
Bye. Thanks for hanging out
soon.
with us.
Bye.